bitches love salsa, oh and a no and fucking with them old boss, you gon' get fucked over. Rarries and Rovers, these old lunchy salsa, hit on with that cobra, now that was slumped over. They doing it off of salsa, you wasn't making no loss. Y'all know I'm a grown boy, your clip full of brokers. Die y'all some robots, die y'all some robots. We GPE dope boys, we got lots of dope boy.
I feel like this is incredible.
Fun. Hi, my name is Michael Hamway, and I'm the owner of Kava Luv Social Lounge here in Naples, Florida. And this is my executive team.
So, products. There's been a big thing recently with 7OH now being identified as its like own product, where it's always been associated with botanical tea, and like Florida just banned the use of 7OH above a certain percentage, which the community is like thrilled about. But 7OH is extracted from botanical tea, and it's so concentrated that it's not tea anymore. We were talking about this the other day, and how in its natural form it's really safe. It bonds to the same nerve that like endorphins do.
Yeah,
but
like coffee.
Yeah. But when it's extracted, it's like 10 to 20 times stronger than morphine.
Yeah.
Because it's
So, I mean,
becomes so potent.
At the end of the day, like the drinks that we're drinking right now have less than 0.02% 7OH.
Yeah.
As a natural alkaloid of botanical tea.
Yeah.
But, you know, like anything else, and like what you're seeing in the marijuana industry, is them synthesizing and amplifying the effects of what is already natural, which is making it more and more dangerous for people to consume. And it also makes it highly addictive because it attaches directly to those receptors in such a strong and profound way.
Yeah. And I was trying to explain, because even with saying everything like that, the fact that it's still in the drink and it's still a part of it, even if it's like a tiny amount, still I feel like scares people a little bit. Yeah. So they're like, oh, so it's banned in large amounts, but in small amounts it's fine. And it's like, well, that kind of goes for everything. But I was like, a potato is fine, but nightshade's not. And they're the same family, you know what I mean? So
I think like it's something like we were talking about the other day. It's like the difference is this is naturally occurring 7OH. A naturally occurring small 0.2% of 7OH is different than Feel Free, for example, that takes that small 0.2%, extracts it, synthesizes it, and blows it up and makes it this something that is not even kratom anymore.
The industry calls them dirty products that are not lab tested, that are synthesized, that are chemically altered. The industry calls it dirty products, and you see it everywhere. Like, and I'm sure everyone's parents and everyone's brothers and sisters have gone into a gas station and seen these dirty products being sold right at the counter. And it's mixed in with heavy metals, and you don't know what you're getting. You don't even know if you're even getting botanical tea. Never mind but the advertising and the marketing for it says that it is. And it's extremely misleading. And, you know, as bad as 7O is, the FDA, I think, didn't do enough to differentiate botanical tea from 7OH. And, you know, they had years. They had a budget of almost $3 million a year to study botanical tea, to see how it affects the populace. And they couldn't find it. And I really think that if they had found the 7OH problem earlier on, I think that they would have done something a lot sooner.
Before we even were fully aware of what it was ourselves, we would have been fighting the battle against those synthetic products and like certain extracts and things that aren't tested or things that aren't coming from a reputable source, where someone could stand there and educate you. Like those products are the stigma that we have been fighting since day one, and now we have like science to prove it.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that, like, even, regardless of how you feel about the current administration and everything, Robert Kennedy coming out a couple weeks ago, explaining that botanical tea and 7-OH are two totally different things.
Yeah.
And that, there's going to be more of a push to ban 7-OH nationally. Like, just hearing somebody at that high of a level understanding what we've been talking about for years.
And even the Florida Surgeon General said something very similar as well, where it's like the battle we are facing is 7-OH, not botanical tea.
And I was hoping that someone would come to the realization, but I'm just glad that it happened. I wish it happened a little bit sooner, but I'm really happy that they're starting to understand what this stuff is. Now, the other downside of this is that when you start to have government bodies and stuff doing research into products and things like that, you're going to start to garner attention from people that are not going to be too happy about these products being introduced to the market. Talking about the pharmaceutical industries, the alcohol industries, like, they clearly have been affected by the growth of this, and you've seen it in the state of Florida.
Like, what was the new study on the alcohol usage going down?
So, in a most recent study by, I think it was a Gallup poll, there was a 40% reduction in alcohol consumption by adults and over a 60% reduction in underage.
Which is crazy.
That's got to be directly linked
crazy.
to this
and
industry.
that's the thing. It's like, it's not even just the botanical tea industry or the kava bar industry. People are moving towards non-alcoholic versions of drinks. And you start to see when you go to restaurants and things like that where they have mocktail menus.
Yeah, true.
And they'll use like non-alcoholic gin or non-alcoholic vodka. The industry's just the whole restaurant industry is moving towards that direction, but it garners their attention, which means that there's going to be a bigger fight down the road with these massive conglomerates because of this product.
So then what do you guys think is the most overrated product in kava bars?
Mine might be a little controversial just because they're like in every kava bar, but the bula shells are mine. I mean, I've had a bula shell or two in my time, but I don't know. It just doesn't really do it for me.
Well, I think just the concept of drinking out of a bowl doesn't
that
feel
doesn't help
but
either.
like,
Doesn't feel
drink your
natural.
cereal milk.
and just use a really good spoon.
Like your ladle.
Yeah.
What about you, Sid?
It's really hard. I don't know. Come back to me.
All right, I'm going to say Delta products.
Okay, that's fine too.
I think that, like, I think Delta products are so prevalent in kava bars in Florida just because marijuana is not legal in this state yet recreationally. So I think it's the closest thing that people can get to a recreational marijuana. But like kava bars that make it their whole identity and everything, it's just crazy to me because it's just as bad in my opinion as 7-OH because it's synthesizing something and making it amplified, but to skirt the law. Like, and that, to me, I don't know. It's always bothered me, and coming from someone who has partaked every once in a while in Mary Jane, I can tell you it's not the same thing. So that's my overrated one.
I think so. I really like the bula thing that Maddie said because I do like it's. Like, why have it in that way when you can have it in, like, a glass or mixed with crema or something to, like, spice it up and have, like, a full drink? A lot of bars try to do, and we've done it too, like, decadent shots of, like, either botanical tea or kava. Like, these decadent shots when people are just trying to get an effect. And usually, like, the bigger, the more flavorful the shot, the less effect you get, unless you're getting, like, a Scotch glass size shot. You're not really, like, feeling anything. And, like, the employees are spending so much time, like, making that or whatever. And it's just, like,
Just take the shot.
Just take the shot.
Yeah, I
Just take the
agree.
shot.
No, I actually agree with that.
Just
one.
chase it with your tasty green.
Savannah?
Brett's gonna hate you for this one. Blue Lotus. Blue Lotus is overrated. Okay. I've tried it. I've drank it. I've taken it in shot form. I've thought about injecting it into my veins. It doesn't do anything.
All right, Sid, you're up.
I feel like I hate to just like copy Maddie on this, but I do think that bull shells are a little bit overrated.
Alright, we're taking them off
That's like that's like the first thing that like I could think of was Maddie's, because it is the traditional way of drinking kava. It's how they drank it thousands of years ago. But
Yeah, but
it's
it's been
2025.
thousands of years.
It tastes
it is
horrible.
2025.
Too. It tastes so
Like
But so albula shells are metal too, and a lot of ours don't have metal ones. They do the traditional
It's the
coconut.
biggest pet peeve I
shell.
have, though, because most kava bars that do the coconut shells, that is the most unhygienic.
That's what I'm
thing
saying.
they've
I'm like,
ever
how
seen.
are
like
you
the
cleaning
grooves
that?
and everything.
Yeah.
How are you cleaning
There's
that
no
shell?
way you can clean that effectively.
It's
and,
so gross
and
to me.
it's so disgusting.
We went to one bar and she's
No,
like,
I
"No,
don't
I
think
just
it's
rub coconut oil inside. It's a natural
You're fucking
disinfectant."
No, I'm dead serious.
I'm for real. She also
No, I'm
squeezed
dead
her
serious.
kava
She
with
said
bare
that.
hands.
She squeezed it with her bare hands to do it.
I would have called the health department right there.
Listen,
At that
listen,
point,
there were
probably
wires
squeezing it with her
exposed in the ceiling. I don't think the health department cares.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had bigger problems, man.
No, but like I was saying, it's the traditional way of drinking kava, and in a lot of kava bars, that is all they serve. Still,
Yeah.
to this day, it is
Yeah.
2025, and that was the way that they drank it thousands of years ago, and they still haven't changed a thing. So that's why I think it's a little bit overrated. Like, all kava bars still sell it, but it is probably one of our least
Almost
popular
never sell
Yeah.
products.
But like, yeah, a lot of people that sell them, it's because it's the tradition. It's like having a bula, and it's like, no, the tradition is community, and that's why they would sit around and drink these bula shells, is because they were getting with their community, they were getting with their family,
They were together.
and they were together.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is what the tradition is, not the shell.
Yeah.
The shell.
I also
not the dirty coconut shell that I'm gonna get hepatitis from.
Thanks everybody for listening. It's Kava Luv. Peace.
Like and subscribe.
I have to pee. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 9 right now.
Skill of 1 to 10, it's a 9.
Good job, guys.